I'm trying to minimize the amount of shows, movies, books I read and be really cognizant of how much content I'm consuming. I'm rereading Digital Minimalism for the second time. In this book, Cal Newport talks about like how do you align your value with the type of algorithmic, incredibly resourced platforms that want our attention. Our attention is what's driving the economy. I get on Netflix and I see promotion for Amy Schumer's new show or movie. I'm not really sure. It's not even I don't like Amy Schumer. I just don't particularly enjoy the stuff that she puts out. And then I kind of started wrestling with myself, like, what does it mean to not like something that is made in this like such dense era of content and media and arts? It's such an incredible thing that we should all be grateful for, but at the same time, because everything is so oversaturated, we don't get the chance to say, oh yeah, this is not for me. Back in the day, we had a cable when I was growing up. My dad used to watch the news. He was like a news junkie. And also like he had it for the sports channel too. He was like a single dad. TV was sort of like a moment of rest and a moment to just like dissociate, honestly. On whatever channel we would be watching, it would be like a show or a movie. And I would be like, yeah, that's not for me. Let me change the channel. There wasn't like a big driving motivation to shit talk or be mad at the fact that this person has chosen to make another show or movie. It wasn't a transparency of the process of how a show has, like, if the show was a pre-production or not in pre-production, if it was in post-production, if it was being filmed right now. We didn't get as much update until like social media became such a big thing where celebrities and companies started using that as a way to build weird parasocial relationship, where now you start to wait for shows to have new seasons, or you kind of are updated on Twitter, you're updated on all social media if the team is done filming. We never had access of this thing before. And so I was thinking, what does it look like to just say this show is not for me? Because there's such hyper niche type of content now that we consume. If I was to tell you my top 5 shows I would watch, maybe you watch 2 of them, if you are a person who also watches a lot of shows or movies and stuff like that. But now people will be like telling me about like the specific show that is on like Prime, which are not accounts I have, trying to be mindful of the fact that like I don't actually have to watch that show. Like, so back to this Amy Schumer show, like I'm watching the preview because Netflix does the forced previews, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is not my type of show. She plays like a person who is doing like fake pregnancy, rom-com, very like 2008 2009 coded show or movie. I feel like there's a lot of content that is out there, especially on YouTube, that is talking about, oh, the show did not like land well. Like there is specific dedicated channels that review everything that comes out. I have a different channel where I review and talk about specific type of genre and niche. But I think about like, what does it look like? Hey, this is not for me, and like not having an opinion on the thing. Is that possible in this era? There's definitely a lot of people have like heavy opinions, but also those people are consuming a shit ton of shows, a shit ton of movies. They're kind of like drowning in content a little bit. I have been thinking a lot about this book. This guy named Tristan Harris, a former startup founder and then also a Google engineer, knows pretty well how the world of tech works, and also he's like a pretty good, believable whistleblower, I guess. He's having a conversation with a journalist, I believe. So he said, "This thing is like a slot machine," Harris says early in the interview while holding up his smartphone. "How is that a slot machine?" Cooper asks. "Well, every time I check my phone, I'm playing the slot machine to see what did I get. There is a whole playbook of techniques that get used by technology companies to get you using the product for as long as possible. Is Silicon Valley programming apps, or are they programming people? Cooper asks. They're programming people. There's always this narrative that technology is neutral and it's up to us to choose how we use it. That's just not true. Technology is not neutral? Cooper interrupts. It's not neutral. They want you to use it in a particular way for long periods of time because that's how they make their money. And I've been thinking about how, like, even having these reactionary opinions that in a time like this now in 2025 about a show like that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But I think it's such an explosive and attention-seeking thing that we almost feel like we have to have an opinion, when the opinion that makes the most sense in this noisy world is actually not having an opinion at all. I just want to make it clear, not all reaction to art in the form of movies, shows, books is bad or unneeded. I have a channel that make like analysis or like talking about direction and composition, but also I really did not like the show because it was not cute, you know, like I also have like content like that. So I don't want to like reduce the importance of that type of content, because I think it is actually like that is being created by human beings when it's not created by AI. Someone thanked me in one of my videos, thanks for not creating this with AI, and I was like, that is the standard that we are at, but okay. But that's a conversation for another day. How do I say this? There is an importance in creating art in reaction to other art. I think some of the best work in the world is a reaction to other art. Art is a reaction to the world. Art is a reaction to other art that has been made before you, and art that you are projecting will be made after you. When I watch reaction channels, either they have to be like for things that are so dumb, like the Kentucky Fried Chicken short movie that was made with Mario Lopez. Like, I would love to watch the reaction because the reaction actually enhances what the content is. I watched this movie or I watched this show, so you don't have to. I also really do appreciate those type of videos because they're adding something to the original content. But I think what I am referring to is that because of this foundational parasocial relationship that is created as a result of like social media and the access we have to these companies and PR firms and celebrities and influencers, now we have this larger scope of reaction that feels a lot more flat, in my opinion. Oh, like this could have been better is like fine, that's commentary. But I think what I'm seeing a lot at these days is I'm watching people react. People are sitting and watching. I can't believe Gerard Butler has another movie. And it's like, I don't know what that adds. It doesn't add value to me as an audience, and I don't want to speak for everybody. There is like a way that that type of content fosters relationships or communities. May not have people in their life that are watching or that movie or that show. Yeah, reaction content in general or commentary content, I wanted to add a layer of their own creativity, the person who's making the thing, into the work that is been made by another crew of people. Otherwise, I think it is just someone yelling at me for like an hour about a movie I don't even plan to watch. It's background noise. In the book Digital Minimalism, he talks a lot about like background noise, specifically around solitude deprivation and the need to really to consume things, but also to create stuff based on your values. And background noise of content has really changed my relationship with content and the way I consume art. And I want to reset that process, and that's mostly why I'm making this video. How do I get away from algorithmic driven, algorithmic pushed shows that want to keep me on these platforms that are paying billions and billions and millions of dollars for my attention? I don't know, it feels dystopian, it feels icky. And as I watched this Amy Schumer preview, I was kind of like, okay, I guess she has another show. That's how I think we should feel. We should not have this explosive opinion about things that don't really matter on the grand scheme of things with shows that we haven't even created. an art that we haven't made.